Well, this will be a sort of a follow-up video to one I did called a big box of nothing, where I ordered this mower blade off eBay, and when the box come, bottom was ripped open, box was empty. And it had come, although I ordered it on eBay, it came from Amazon. And like I say, I'm always really annoyed when that happens, because it always ends up being a problem. Particularly if there's a problem with the shipping or anything. If everything goes smooth, you wouldn't even know it. But if any hiccup in the system at all, you've got a mess. So I informed the seller that the box arrived empty, and I sent them pictures showing how it hadn't been taped properly, and and I waited. And as soon as I said I had a problem, oh yeah, no problem, they'll take right care of it. Well, it doesn't work that smoothly because, he has to go to Amazon, and although, it was sold in his name, when they do that reselling kind of thing, they're often listed as a gift. You never actually get a receipt. He gets a receipt. It's like he's giving it to you, but he's not. He's selling it to you. It's a drop shipping thing. And it's gotten to be a racket. And it's gotten to be a problem very often. So I waited, and I didn't hear anything back from him. So then I filed a complaint with eBay because that's where I bought it. I expect them to stand behind it. Well, then I got to wait 9 days to give the guy a chance to make good on this deal. So I waited, no action, which is kind of what I expected. So then I contact eBay again and file a complaint. And so then the idea, they'll make a decision on this within 48 hours. Well, the decision comes back, whoop, I don't get a refund. I thought, well, okay, this is the screwy deal. Because really what they're implying is, oh yeah, the item arrived, I took it out of the box, I'm lying. I'm saying it was gone, but it was actually in there. It's my fault. So I get on the phone again, and of course you're talking to a computer, and you're not going to get anywhere with them because it said, oh, there's no appeal, this decision has been made and that's final. And so finally I just said I want to talk to a human operator. Well, the computer paused. Well, it finally connected me with the human operator, though it was very reluctant about this. And okay, so I get Sanji off in India someplace. But the guy, he looked up the case because he had all the information because my phone is connected to all this other, so he knew about it right away. He looked it up, immediately reversed the decision and gave me my refund. Well, I said, well, this is a hell of a decision when how can you decide something and then, well, he said that was, the artificial intelligence does the deciding on cases like that. And according, by that, it looks and says, yep, it was shipped, yep, tracked it through FedEx, yep, it came right to me, it's got to be there. It neglected to take into account that the box was open and the thing was gone. And I wanted you to file a police report. Well, who are you going to file a police report against? It was done in the shipping. But once I got a human operator, okay, everything got squared away. But it was not an easy procedure because, like I say, you had to deal with that computer, and the computer really didn't want to. It it was its responsibility and it didn't want to give it up. But then, as long as I had Sanji on the phone and the conversation was being recorded, I kind of let into him. Well, not really. I don't lose my temper, but I do lose my patience. And I was losing my patience with this whole operation. So I chewed on him for a while, making it clear that I don't have a problem with him. I have a problem with eBay allowing the Amazon sellers to list stuff on eBay. Amazon has a lot of problems, and they always have had, though they downplay this. It's one of these amazing companies where the people who own it are some of the richest people in the world, though the company has never made a profit. It's kind of like YouTube, with Google. It doesn't make us any money, but we got money. Well, okay, I don't know how this works. But they're not supposed to be, Amazon is a whole separate entity. They're not supposed to be listing the Amazon crap on eBay. If you're listing it on eBay, you should have the thing, So they really have to crack down at it, or like I told them, at a minimum, be sure that in the listing it says that it will be fulfilled by Amazon, so I can know to avoid them, because otherwise you don't know it until the thing ships that it's coming from Amazon. But like I say, Amazon has had huge problems. Partly it's a cultural thing. A lot of their stuff is fakes and knockoffs. But these people who own this, they come up from a part of the world where fakes and knockoffs are a way of life. It's only good business to do that. So Amazon really makes no attempt to rein this stuff in. Somebody has to really get on their case before they'll do anything. And they come, it's not our fault. We didn't know. Well, they darn well knew, but they make just as much money off a fake as they do off a real one. So they really don't care. An example is these things. These Opsol adapters that allow you to shoot these mini shells in a Mossberg. Now, this guy had a problem because when he started making these, it wasn't long before they started turning up on eBay. They were listed on eBay, but they were coming out of Amazon. But they were knockoffs. Really good knockoffs. In fact, the packaging was identical to his packaging, which was rather unusual packaging. But they must have scanned it in, and they went through a lot of work to make a fake, but they screwed up in an Opsol. There's like the state of Texas diagram, and it says Opsol inside. The S, they put in a lowercase s instead of an uppercase s, which is what it's supposed to be. But a ton of them came out of Amazon, but were being sold on eBay. Well, I'm sure he found out because a lot of people had problems with them. They would get weak and they wouldn't stay in the gun; they'd fall out. Well, then, people expect him to do a warranty on a knockoff that was never his product. So these things start coming back to him that weren't his. Now, because I see people like on YouTube where they say, oh, they're junk, they fall out. Well, the people are dealing with that knockoff. But when he complains to Amazon and eBay through Amazon, everybody's ducking, I'm sure these things are still turning up, the fakes. Well, that just does, in the first place, that sales he doesn't get, but then he gets a bad reputation from the defective ones. and then he's expected to cover the warranty on these. You know, but Amazon made money on it. You know, I can imagine they're still being turned out. I know as like 6 months ago they were still being sold, the knockoff ones. But that's a heck of a deal. But like I say, Amazon is full of that stuff. It's kind of a cultural thing. You know, somebody is making a lot of raw Lexus. But anyway, I got my money back for that big empty box. And hopefully I made my point to eBay to not allow those Amazon resellers on eBay. Because when it gets to the point where I hesitate to buy something on eBay, because like I say, I don't know where it's coming from until it ships. And then I find out it's from Amazon, well then I know I'm going to have a problem. You can't... I want to buy, you know, the thing about eBay is you're buying from some small company or a person, and they care about their business and about their reputation. These Amazon resellers, they don't care. They never see the product. They have no idea. They have a listing. They can run this whole business off the computer. Everybody makes a few cents down the line, and you get stuck with an empty box or a counterfeit product. But I can imagine the frustration that this guy must have had trying to deal with them people, because like I said, they really are not very cooperative. Their reputation means nothing. Anyway, I got my end of this thing settled, but I'm hoping that eBay will pay attention to that and quit allowing that, because it leads to nothing but aggravation, and like I said, it makes me hesitate to buy stuff on eBay when I can't be sure that the seller is not an Amazon reseller. I want to buy from a person, not from some made-up company that's jockeying the stuff. And the problem is, if you shut one of them guys down, they'll just come up under another name. You know, it's hard to get rid of them. But eBay has to take those complaints seriously when they get them. Amazon won't take them seriously, but eBay better. Well, okay, one thing I was going to say too. You know, like I say, this whole problem, you know, dealing with computers, talking to computers, and having the artificial intelligence make these decisions when the thing often doesn't have all the facts, or it can't interpret the facts. It looks at numbers, at that data, and the whole idea of an empty box doesn't quite compute with it. Now when you look at all these companies that are trying to get things, you know, like Google working with the military to make these soldiers that can, you know, these robotic things that can make these decisions, you know, to kill or not kill independently on its own, or they're trying to make these cars that drive themselves. Artificial intelligence isn't at the point where it can do that. You know, they say, oh, it learns. It isn't learning. And you should be afraid if it ever does learn. If it ever becomes capable of making these independent decisions on its own, humanity is doomed. We'll be wiped out first thing, because the computers really don't care about us. We're a mistake.